Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I got up a little bit late this morning, and I was having my breakfast. I was doing a little reading because I was looking up for a little bit of information, a little bit of knowledge on the raw vegan lifestyle, and I came across something and started reading. And it was a good explanation. So I thought today I would share a little bit about exactly the detoxification process, the body detoxing. In the raw vegan little world, we're always talking about detox, detox, detox. I just thought I would talk about it from a little bit different angle, not necessarily, what we're always talking about, how to detox, do this, do that, but just like what is actually going on in the body when the body's detoxing itself, some of the natural processes, and how this raw vegan diet helps that and supports that. And you'll kind of see, I think, through this, just a little bit more about the process and what's actually going on down there, instead of just this detox as some general concept, some term that you hear all the time, but some people might not be aware of. Now, this reading, I recommend this book all the time. My guest that was here that's right here right now, also raw vegan. We were talking about various books and different things yesterday, and of course, one of my favorites, Brenda Davis. The topic came up, and she was asking me about the book Becoming Vegan versus Becoming Raw. Now, as raw as she is, like a lot of people, I recommend, okay, if you're going to only get one and you're not a fully raw vegan yet, or maybe you're still kind of trying to get there, Becoming Vegan, lots of good, wonderful general knowledge. It's one of my reference books, but Becoming Raw has a little bit more of the particulars of the raw part of it. So I came across this and I just thought I would share with you. I'm actually just going to read a little bit from it. But this is from Brenda Davis's book, Becoming Raw. If you're interested in raw veganism at all, if you're high raw vegan, fully raw, whatever, this is one book I would definitely say keep around as a reference. All right, the body's detoxification system. To locate your liver, put your hand over the lowest ribs on your front right side, just telling people where their liver is, kind of down around here. Just inside those ribs is the busiest hive of activity in your body. Some people may not even know that. That's basic stuff, but the whole body is detoxing, but the liver is the main organ that facilitates and gets that going. One of the liver's functions is to detoxify or rid the body of poisons and substances that are potentially damaging, such as aflatoxin, a toxic compound found in moldy peanuts and grains, caffeine, dioxin, drugs, exhaust fumes, paint vapors, pesticides, and tobacco smoke. Such activity also occurs in other parts of the body. However, the liver is a primary location. Toxins that are not water soluble are not readily eliminated through urine or bile. Fortunately, by using some remarkable processes, the body can effectively recognize, transform, and eliminate dangerous molecules, rendering them harmless. Liver detoxification involves two steps, phase 1 and phase 2. The enzyme activities of these two phases must be well coordinated because intermediary compounds that form during phase 1 can be even more troublesome than the original toxin. If these intermediary compounds are not quickly processed in phase 2, damage such as cell injury or the development of cancer can ensue. During phase 1, detoxification enzymes give the toxin an electrical charge, which creates a type of chemical handle that can attach to another molecule during phase 2. In receiving the charge, toxins can change into highly reactive and potentially dangerous molecules. If all is well, as is usually the case, the reactive molecule quickly passes into phase 2, where a large water-soluble molecule is attached, creating a water-soluble complex that the body can quickly and safely dispose of through urine or bile. And then diet and lifestyle choices affect the sequence of flow through phase 1 and 2 in many ways. Knowing the nutrient teamwork that is involved and in the body's detoxification process helps us better understand why a varied diet of plant foods goes far beyond supplements in keeping us healthy. Here are some examples. Phase 1. The body's first line of defense is a superfamily of enzymes that the body builds from protein, including the sulfur-containing amino acid cysteine and iron, called the P450 cytochrome enzyme family. Getting into some deep science there. These enzymes carry electrons or charges from one spot to another, work in the presence of oxygen, and create a highly reactive form of oxygen that can rearrange the structure of toxic molecules. In order for phase one to work properly, certain B vitamins must be present: folic acid, niacin, pyridoxine, riboflavin, thiamine, and vitamin B12, along with protective phytochemicals such as flavonoids. Phase two. For phase two, the body needs a supply of large soluble molecules that can be attached to toxins, creating a soluble substance that can be excreted. An example of such a molecule is a glutathione, a chain of 3 amino acids that works with selenium, found in Brazil nuts, by the way. Other suitable molecules are the amino acid cysteine or mineral sulfur. Several other amino acids and the B vitamins choline and riboflavin also have vital roles in phase two detoxification. Each day, the liver manufactures about a quart or a liter of bile, a carrier through which many toxic substances are dumped into the intestine, where this toxic load is absorbed by fiber and excreted in the feces. A diet low in fiber results in the inadequate binding of toxins. In such cases, toxins may be reabsorbed. Fortunately, raw vegan diets are high in fiber. And then we're talking, also too, we're getting this stuff out, but also as we're detoxing, we're putting we're putting vitamins back in the body, which is important during that detoxification process, that we are putting, nutrition and healing, healing foods back into the body. The activity of certain phase one enzymes and a resultant buildup of dangerous intermediary compounds can be increased by things that we deal with every day: consumption of alcohol or polycyclic or aromatic hydrocarbons, which are harmful substances that are created by cigarette smoke or when foods are barbecued. We have toxins coming in from factories, I don't, but if toxin exposure is very high, overloading enzyme defenders with potentially carcinogenic substances can trigger the initial steps along the path to cancer. Protection can be insufficient when there is a shortage of antioxidants. So see what we're doing, we're detoxifying and then replacing with antioxidants and vitamins. But you see, it's just a fascinating system. And one of the like I said, I just wanted to kind of share what the process was, because I think sometimes we have these terms, especially in our little niche, and they're these generalized terms, and people are sort of aware what detox is, but I think it always helps. Anytime you can have a picture in your head of what's going on in your body, that's going to help you. That helped me a lot in the beginning. Just kind of as a side note, just visualization of what's going on in my body in the beginning helped keep me on my path. That was one big factor that helped keep me on my path, because I've talked about before, and sometimes and I'm getting a lot of good conversation with this friend of mine. I mean, I don't get mad frustrated, but I get frustrated when I can't get my point across to people sometimes. And it's just like, well, I flipped a switch in my head. They're like, well, we're struggling with this. I'm like, nope, I just shut it off. And it was things like that I helped to, that kind of made me grasp this lifestyle from the very beginning. Because, early on, I would take these things, there would be things, I had some of these little cravings, mild cravings that everybody else tells me, but I would imagine those, I would take those and I would picture them going from my mouth through my body. And once I learned the process, that's why I say learn some of these processes, because sometimes when you know exactly what's going on, I didn't have a choice. There were foods like that, like, oh, I can't give up my meat, I can't give up my cheese. I love cheese more than anybody. Blue cheese, feta cheese, American cheese. Remember Hickory Farms when you were a kid, if you're a little bit older? I love cheese, but I knew from that day, I don't care, food addiction, not food addiction, cheese addiction. I knew what happened. I could visualize, and I had cut the meat a lot, but I was still eating cheese, so I could picture. If I took a bite of cheese, I saw that. I could not have taken a bite of cheese without seeing how it progresses through my body. And that really helped me a lot there, because once I knew, I couldn't unknow. Remember that? Lock it in. Once I knew, I couldn't unknow, and then once I couldn't unknow, I couldn't do certain things. And also too, I just wanted to talk about it from this standpoint. That's why I'm always, people have their various methods, and I'm not going to ever argue, and I'm not even going to ever say that somebody else is wrong and I'm right. But you know, when it comes to the subject of the detoxing, that I'm pretty simple on that, and I keep it kind of standard. I don't do I don't do the fasting, and I don't do these cleanses with, 37 steps and whatever too. I've just always kind of been into the fiber part of it. I've known this process without actually understanding the science of it or exactly what's going through the body. And that's the process I've been using for almost 5 years for cleansing my body, because, and I can tell even when my fiber goes down a little bit, that fiber, when I'm just back, it's just something about the feeling. Just trust me on that one. But anyhow, that was just a little bit about an insight into detox. It wasn't one of those telling you got to do this for detox or that for detox. It just kind of explains the process, which knowing these things helps me a little bit. And that's all I'm ever trying to do on this channel, is just kind of trying to use some of the little tips and tricks and hacks and what have you that help me along the way. And also kind of trying to think of the mistakes I made along the way. That's my only real way of sharing. Like I say, I'm not exactly an educator. I don't memorize lots of stuff. I don't do deep scientific explanations, but I do make this lifestyle work for me. And, so anyhow, I'll try to do some more of these little kind of explanation type videos from time to time as I find information, as I'm studying information. That's how it happens. Like I say, this video was very spontaneous just from my reading this morning. And that's how I like to do. I just like to kind of pass on without making a big point of like, okay, I'm going to go do this video. These are the most organic to me. These are the most natural, just to like, okay, what I'm studying, I pass on. No judgment, make your own, draw your own conclusions on it. But anyhow, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. I do videos very similar to this on a daily basis, so I would appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button and come back and watch more of my content. And when you hit that subscribe button, please check on the bell and then click send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I've kind of stopped that bleeding. Mentioning that over the last month or two has helped a lot. The subs have been, stabilized and going back up. So anyhow, I always appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Peace.